Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and we have a very fun card for today. And kind of made me laugh because it dovetailed with thoughts I was having this morning about some things that are coming up soon. And so here's my answer. Love it, love it, love it. So I hope you're all having a good start to your Wednesday, and a little gloomy here. Hopefully it's gonna clear up. We'll see what happens. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome. Looks like someone else has popped on also. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you all here today. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Judy. Here they all come rolling in. People must be getting notifications now. Whatever that glitch was for a period of time where nobody was getting a notification that I was live, now it looks like people are getting notifications again, which is fabulous. Thank you, Facebook. Let's get this going. This is good. So let's take some nice deep breaths. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, as you continue to breathe, keep going, why don't you just tap your chest? It's just one of the tapping spots. But when you're wanting to expedite a process, you may find that there is actually one spot that you like to tap that just kind of sinks you into the positivity spectrum. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. We got the flowers flying today. This is awesome. Flowers, rainbows, sunshines. This is good. This is good. Keep the breath going. Just tapping and clearing. Sometimes, if you feel like you're not getting where you want to go with that, just sides of the hands, karate chop spot, and then back to here. Sometimes you don't have to do the whole routine. You can just do a spot. Just to kind of clear and cleanse and get things moving. Good morning, Peggy. Welcome, welcome. Everybody's rolling in. Glad to see you all here today because we have a really fun card. Really fun, really fun. And I want to give you the backstory on why I think this is so fun. So, we've got several things coming up this week. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you are here. Thursday, I am leading my board group for Michigan Interfaith Power and Light, which is an advocacy group that helps faith communities get solar panels, because those buildings sit there all week long with nobody in them a lot of the times, but helping them get solar panels, plus more advocacy, things that are important, advocating for the water. Good morning, Lucy. Advocating for recycling, all kinds of stuff. But our fearless leader is going to be on vacation, so I'm going to be leading the meeting. So I was thinking about that in terms of structure and organization, flow, how to have things moving along and make sure we accomplish what we need to accomplish in the hour that we have. So that was one thing that was sort of rolling around my head. Another thing that was rolling around in my head is the intentional community. Good morning, Susan. I'm continuing to read voraciously on things that are relevant to that, and I am well aware of how huge a project this is, and that of utmost importance is funding. funding. So that's been rolling around in my head too, how to be that beacon that attracts in what we need for funding sources to make this thing happen. Because again, many of the people who are going to benefit from this, I believe everybody benefits due to the ripple effect, but the people who are going to directly benefit from this are going to be some of the people who typically nobody pays attention to. They kind of get cast by the wayside, people of limited means, etc., etc. So, again, I was attentive to how do we draw in the funds we need to make this thing happen. So, here comes the card deck, the Wild Offering deck by Tosha Silver. And I finished up the Erwin Raphael McManus book, The Last Arrow, last night. And part of his last section was talking about what are you asking God for? And he shared one biblical story that he said has always made him go, where it was clear in his mind, as he's reading this story, what it was the story of the two blind men, and they're asking Jesus for their sight. They're saying, please help. They're not saying, please restore our sight. And so Jesus asks them, what are you asking me for? Very clearly, what is it you want? And Erwin was kind of like, why is he asking them that? Isn't it clear? Isn't it obvious what they want? Good morning, Linda. And he kind of was making a joke out of it, but he's pointing out, Jesus was pointing out the importance of asking, and the importance of asking big. There's no, and one of the things that I remember from one of my trainings is the universe finds it no more difficult to give you $1 million than to give you $1. The universe finds it no more difficult to give you, I'm making stuff up here, a mansion than to give you a hovel. What are you asking for? What are you asking for? Be clear. And that's why I love the this or something better. This or something better. Okay? So today we're asking, and we're asking big, and that is not obnoxious. That is what we are called to do. I mean, how many of us find it very easy to ask on the part of someone else? On someone else's behalf, we ask very easily. Hey, Jane Doe could use, she fell, she broke her elbow, she could use some people to bring meals, take her to appointments, blah, blah, blah. Can we set up a food tree or whatever? Very comfortable doing that on behalf of someone else. What about on behalf of us? What about on behalf of ourselves? Because doesn't all that serve others anyway? I'm going to make stuff up here again. If I do not have food, that word, selfish, if we could banish that from our lexicon, that would be really good, really good. Because as I receive, I then have access to more to give to others. If I'm drowning, I can't do much for anybody. If I'm back on shore, I can do a whole lot for a lot of people, right? So when I have a need, if I ask for that need to be filled, good. Yes, I'm doing the same thing, Lucy. If I ask for that need to be filled, this or something better, because again, our little human brains, first we do that selfish thing, oh, it's selfish to ask for whatever, blah, blah. We do that to ourselves, we self-limit, but we also obviously can't conceive of the field of infinite possibility. It's too big for us to grasp. God can conceive of it. God absolutely can conceive of it. How do we get ourselves out of the way? We want to be clear what it is we need, why we need it, and put that out there, what result we're looking for. But then get out of the way. Then get out of the way. I love when people do that. Okay, God, I need this. I need it on this date. I need this amount. I need, I want it in blue, blah, 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 blah. No. I need this or something better. This is what I'm conceiving of you're asking me to do right now. This is my mission in life right now. Please give me what I need to be able to do that. Please help me see the things that I do need for this mission that I may not know that I even need yet. Okay? So, our card for today, and I love the colors on here, and I just think it's such a fun card. Oh, first we got to start with Ganesh, the overcomer of obstacles. So, we have the ability to ask for that too, overcoming perceived obstacles. And I'm going to say perceived because I think obstacles serve a purpose. All right? When we go to the grocery store and they have all those kiosks set in our way that we have to navigate around, that serves a purpose, doesn't it? How much of that stuff ends up in our cart? Okay? When the universe, God, Spirit, Creator, however you want to look at it, creates turbulence in our world, things that slow us down, etc., perhaps those things are there to get us to look at something, to pay attention, to perk up our ears. Yes. Yeah, Tosha's fabulous. So here's our card. Money. Money. My sister used to sing a song. Money. Something about money. If you haven't got it, it isn't any fun. I forget how it all goes. But anyway, the point is, money is merely energy. Money is merely energy that serves a purpose. And if we are good people, if we do good things, more money is going to allow us to do more good things. If we are a jerk, more money is going to make us jerkier. So it's about, first of all, it's about cleaning in front of our own door. How do we take on this life? How do we view this life? I was watching a man this morning who went over to the food pantry at the school, and he was clearly uncomfortable being there, but obviously he was hungry. So he was taking out some things, cans, bread, whatever he was taking. And I felt the energy, I sent energy to him in terms of take what you need. Take what you need. It will be an endless supply. There are those of us who make sure there's always some stuff in there, all right? There will be an endless supply. Take what you need, others will get what they need, and on we go. So, money card. First of all, let's look at the pretty colors. Love the flowers at the bottom. The artwork on these is by Katie Daisy, and I just think it's fun. I had a friend who actually was very good at that too. She'd, take notes in class and doodle around the edges, all this kind of stuff, and I just thought that was such a fun way to do things. So, another nice deep breath. And let it go. And scan, let's do a body scan. A la Diane, let's do a body scan, head to toe. Just scan through your body, any areas of discomfort. I am feeling the ribs, the effect from the fall a couple of Mondays ago. But notice if there's any stuck points. It can be where you hurt. Okay, and Judy, there too. When I want to circle the word just. I want to circle the word just. Because just is a self-limiting word. I want peace of soul. Claim it. I want peace of soul. Get rid of the word just. All right? Just a little hint there. Then I just used the word just twice. But we don't want to limit. We don't want to limit. Okay, Spirit, if there's more that I'm meant to have, and if there's more you want me to do with it, let me know. Let me know. Be open to being as big a conduit as you can be. All right? So if you're only allowing, good morning, Bonnie, glad you are here. If you're only allowing yourself to be like a straw, but really the universe wants you to be a hose or a conduit or a culvert, come on. There you go. Beautiful, Judy, beautiful. Yes, I want peace of soul. And now claim it. That word want puts it into the future, doesn't it? I have peace of soul. I am peace of soul. I live peace of soul. Whatever word captures it as if it's already happening. Because truly it is. Truly it is. We just need to clear our lenses so we can see it. So, back to the money card. Back to the money card. We have so many warped beliefs about money. Money is the root of all evil. No, that's not what it said. That is not what it said. A powerful tower of abundance. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So, again, if I'm meant to be this conduit for abundance of all sorts to flow to people. So, one that I'm claiming for myself right now is I am the gatherer of the funds that are going to be necessary to help create this intentional community and the affordable housing project. There will be others who are helping with that. There would probably be someone else who's actually managing that money. Fabulous, wonderful. But I can be the beacon that's calling that in, right? It's going to take money to do this thing. Money makes the world go round. Money makes this stuff, yes. And I'm going to add a little bit to that, Cindy. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. The love of money to the exclusion of valuing human beings, Mother Earth, all of God's creatures, etc. That's the problem. When we value money more than we value all of that, then we have the problem. Loving money, I think, is okay. Because when you're viewing it as the vehicle that's going to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. I love Lucy's idea of having a pot of funds. You know, there's so many people, kids who have brilliant ideas that they want to make happen. Man, if I had $500, I could create this thing that would help a whole bunch of people. I want to be that person who can gift them $500 or do those micro loans and then they pay the money back. Yes, money is a tool. We can use tools as weapons, can't we? A hammer can pound in a nail. A hammer can kill someone. All right? We are the ones who choose what happens with that particular tool. What are we going to do with this tool? All right? So money as a tool. So let's hear the card. Let's hear the card. All my finances are now in divine order. All of my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs. So she's basically saying the universe already knows my needs. God knows my needs and is the source for all. I love this next line. You ready for it? I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. In other words, don't be grasping. Money that's hoarded does nothing. Money that's hoarded does nothing. It's merely a piece of paper. It's not even like coins, where coins actually maybe had some value in the metal, although over the course of time we have changed the metal content in our coins. But the paper value of money, we've seen that when certain countries' economies have collapsed, that paper money has no value whatsoever. It's only imbued with the value we give it, right? We all agree this thing means this, and therefore I can exchange it for that, all right? So I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. We can move money through, put it to work, make it do something, all right? Every need will be met through offering all to the divine. Every need will be met by offering all to the divine. And when you have a difficult circumstance, I'm going to throw a couple out there. Your car takes a dump. You have a health issue and you have one of those lovely policies like mine where all of the, thank you for posting that, Cindy, I appreciate it, where all of the deductible has to be covered first and it's $6,000 or $15,000 or whatever it is, and you're going, can't do it. Instead of saying I can't do it, change the words. How can I? How can I? And that doesn't mean you go on a mad frantic search for the answer. That may mean it opens the door for you turning it over to Spirit, who will guide you. Here's the next step I want you to take. We still have to do stuff. We're not just sitting there on the couch eating bonbons waiting for Spirit to drop $1 billion in our lap. Although apparently that's what one of the lotteries is worth at this point. That's kind of a fun thing to do. The people who go crazy and buy a bazillion lottery tickets, your odds still have not improved that much, right? But to buy one lottery ticket just to give yourself the opportunity to fantasize about, and if I won this, what would I do with it? Because I would like you to be the odds breaker. Do you know what the odds are when someone wins a lottery that a couple years later they are destitute? Way up there. Way up there. When people are not prepared to deal with something, they may think they are, but when they're really not prepared to deal with something, it can decimate their whole life, okay? I remember one guy in Green Bay who won, I don't remember how much he won, several million, and he had not been the most finest upstanding dude in terms of taking care of his obligations. So right off the top, there was a whole chunk that went to back child support, etc., etc., etc. A couple of years later, he was destitute. And that actually is at the end of the Last Arrow book too, where he talks about even the littlest things that we do So in his case, he was talking about when he was in his 20s and he was just starting preaching. And in his congregation, there would maybe be 5 people who showed up or 10 people who showed up. And he's preaching to these little groups of people. And they were the people that were kind of the people nobody would pay attention to. They were people who were experiencing homelessness. They were people who were gang involved. They were prostitutes, etc., etc., etc. In speaking to those, he saw that later down the road, there was one point in time where there was an event, and he had traveled, he was exhausted, and he had made a commitment. He was going to do this little thing at this major event. So basically he was kind of ushering people to their seats, you know, and he was exhausted. So he said to his wife, let's find someone else who can do this for me tonight. And she called him on the carpet and said, no, you made this commitment. You need to show up. You need to do this. She didn't tell him. She already knew, Spirit had already talked to her, that he was going to be preaching that night. The person who was supposed to preach wasn't able to be there. So it was his opportunity. He had like an hour's notice that he would be preaching to 20,000 people. And that's really where his career took off. And what he said was, I preached to those 20,000 people the same way I preached to the 5 or the 10 or whatever. There was no difference. That was all my training ground for what I was going to be called to do later. And so he talked about that as every little thing we do is practice for what we're going to be called to do. I think about YEMIGs. Right now we have 11 of you on here listening to me. By the end of the day, there may be 100, okay? But I feel like there's a call in there somewhere. If I'm going to be bringing in enough funds to create this intentional community and affordable housing thing, I'm going to need to be talking. And I'm going to be needing to convince some people who have some pretty deep pockets and some organizations, etc., etc. This is my practice. This is my practice, okay? So, every need will be met through offering all to the divine. Again, we show up. We keep moving forward. We keep doing what's put in front of us to do, even if we're not sure how it's going to be relevant. How many of us, I know for me, there were times where I was called to take a class, a particular class, and I'm like, why the hell am I taking this? And somewhere down the line, maybe even 5 years later, what I learned in that class served a purpose. When we're called to do something, even if we don't know why we're being called for that particular thing, if you feel the call and it's strong, do it. Do it. Okay? Because you have no idea when and how that's going to serve the bigger purpose. Your bigger purpose, what you are being called to do here. All right, so money. Money, money, money. I would like you to put in the feed your ask. What are you asking the universe for with regard to financial, okay? And I'm going to then go back and know that it's not just me, this is coming through, and challenge the limitations that I find in your statements and open them up, help you open them up so you're doing the big ask. You ask for a little bit, the universe is going to give you that little bit. You ask for that and more, you're opening doors. You ask for a bigger ask to begin with, so this or something better, you can kind of use that as a cop-out, can't you? I don't have to say it. I can just say this little bitty piece and then say, or something better, and I don't have to claim it. Or I can speak my truth about the big stuff. So I would like to have many millions of dollars come my way. Why? Because this project is going to be a multi-million-dollar project. And how cool would it be to be able to fund that as opposed to working really hard? I need the funds to balance my budget long term. All right. So with your budget, I want you thinking bigger. I want you to add a couple of line items to your budget that are future things you would like. So I'm going to make stuff up here, Abigail. Well, let's just say you want to be able to, I'm going to go big, all right? I'm going to go big. You want to be able to provide the solar panels for your house of faith, all right? So rather than the church having to fundraise and figure out how they were going to put the solar panel, pay for the solar panels, you're going to fund their solar panels, all right? I'm just making stuff up here. But just, I want you to be able to see. Put the line item in your budget for that. Oh my God, that's so much money, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because it's going to ride along in your budget. It's perking. It's doing what it needs to do. I've done that with various things. And eventually, somehow, those funds show up. You begin to shift your thinking. You begin to see that this thing's a real thing. It's written down on the budget. It's going to be occurring at some point. May not be right now. And again, you want to claim it as if it's already done. Claim it as if it's already done. But have that stuff riding along on your budget. So you're thinking about it. You're opening your heart to it. You're creating space for the universe to do that. Want to know that we'll have enough to live a comfortable life in our retirement. Okay, so claim it. We have enough to live a comfortable life in our retirement. And comfortable, play with that word a little bit. Is there any kind of, let me think, connotation of limitation in the word comfortable? I just need enough to be comfortable. Not, I need enough to really live the kind of retirement I want to live. All right? Again, people are afraid to ask. They're afraid to do the big ask. Go for it. You have nothing to lose. It's kind of that shoot for the moon, and if you land among the stars, that's pretty darn great too, isn't it? We're so afraid we're going to feel disappointed. We're going to be let down. We got to rechange our thinking here. All over the place, we have to rechange our thinking. I know I have to rechange my thinking. A lot. Rechange. Change. I'm making up a lot of words lately. Okay? So, for retirement, I have more than enough to live the life I want to live in retirement and do for others. Let's throw that in there. And do for others. And by doing for others, that doesn't mean messing up their path. So let me give you a for instance. Okay? My son and his significant other bought a house a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was. And it's their first time home buyers. They make a decent living, but there's all that first time home buyer stuff in terms of how do we navigate all of this? How do we know we have enough assets, etc., etc.? There was a point in there where they needed some funds. So I loaned them the funds. It wasn't to get them off the hook of having to figure out how to do it themselves. They still had to do a whole lot of legwork to make stuff happen. But I was able to assist them. So sometimes it's just making someone's life a little bit easier. If there's a single mom who's driving a POS and it breaks down and she can't afford to get it fixed, what do we have for options? There's options. Sometimes someone could do something big. We have 3 cars sitting here that nobody is using, 2 of them. Good morning, Barb. Welcome. I'm going to give her a car. I'm going to gift her a car. To you, it might feel like not a big deal and now you have extra space, right? For that person, it may make a tremendous difference. It may make the difference between her being able to keep her job or not keep her job because she can't get back and forth to work, right? There's all manner of things. I think there's a business in that too. I think there's a business. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think there's a business in taking in cars that people don't need. They can use it as a write-off. And good morning, Deb. And those cars are available for people. Maybe it's like a carpool. A car, there's a word for it. The fountain of cars. I don't know what to call it. Where people, when they have those difficulties, can borrow a car They have to take good care of it. They got to, have a license, all that stuff, right? Let's make some things easier for people. Let's make the things, like right now in Wisconsin, getting childcare is miserable. Miserable, miserable, miserable. What are some options? What are some ways to assist? What are some ways to make things yes, and there are a lot of foundations who do this stuff already. I'm not inventing something. I'm reinventing. Yeah? But let's apply it to other circumstances. Let's get some grassroots efforts going here to uplift everybody. Again, I am a firm believer. We are only as strong as our weakest link. And when we allow people to struggle, when we allow people, and not saying that them struggling and overcoming is a bad thing. It's good. It helps them know what they're capable of. But there are times when sometimes people do need a hand up. You can let that person lay on their back flailing and they can't get up, and you're like, okay, but this struggle's good for them. Sometimes you need to lend a helping hand. All right? So, money. All my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs and is the source for all. I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. Every need will be met through offering all to the divine. So today, for your practice, I would like you, as you go about your day, looking for opportunities to create abundance for yourself and others, and to put that in God's hands, put that in the universe's hands. Okay, I'm opening myself up for whatever to come my way, and here's what I want to do with it. And if you'd like me to do something bigger with it or something different with it, let me know. We're co-conspiring with the universe to make the world a better place. Have an awesome Wednesday. I will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.